You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Marsack versus O'Malley and Mestepey.
Thank you, Jerome.
You're welcome.
Good day, everyone. Ms. Marsack, you admit to sleeping with 2 men at the time you conceived your 11-month-old son, Caden.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you state you're here today for the sake of your baby's future and desperately need to identify his biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. O'Malley, Ms. Marsack says she feels strongly that you are Caden's biological father, but you claim she was unfaithful during your time together, so you have every reason to doubt paternity.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mestepey, you were a one-night stand, admittedly, but you claim you have created a loving bond with Caden, and you would be devastated if he's not yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Marsack, please tell us, how did you get yourself in this situation?
Well, Your Honor, at the time of conception, I was involved in multiple men and met James around 2009. We were working together and we had a fling there for a while. He was with somebody while I was married, and we were both intimate with each other at that time. Then he is actually the reason me and my ex-husband are divorced.
So at some point, you were sleeping with Mr. Mestepey as well?
Right after me and Mr. O'Malley were together, I had met Mr. Mestepey at a party, and we were drinking, and one thing led to another, and we ended up intimate, and I honestly can't remember much of what happened.
But do you remember whether or not you used protection?
No.
You did not, or you don't remember?
I don't remember.
All right. Mr. O'Malley, do you remember the relationship with Ms. Marsack?
Yes, Your Honor, I do. We had met in 2009. We had an affair for a couple months. A few years later, we ended up talking again over Facebook. She ended up coming to Chicago to come stay with me. It didn't work out, so I had sent her back to where she's from. 3 weeks later, she Facebooks me telling me that she's pregnant. So I asked for proof because she had lied to me numerous times before, and her word isn't really trustworthy, at least for me. So about a week later, she sends me a letter. It looked homemade, Your Honor. I really wish I still had the picture of it. So I presumed it wasn't true.
Because you asked her for some type of proof from the doctor.
Yes, Your Honor, I asked for some proof.
And she gave you a letter. All right, so Mr. Mestepey, when did you find out she was pregnant?
I was living in California at the time, and one day I get this message on Facebook saying that I'm pregnant and you could possibly be the father.
And what were you thinking?
I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know what to think.
So do you remember this encounter, or you don't remember it either?
I remember it.
Do you remember if you used protection?
No, I did not use protection.
Okay, so it is a real possibility that you could be this child's father.
Yes. I was constantly thinking it could be someone else's, but I wasn't too for sure because I didn't know her that well. It was just a one-night stand. It only takes one time, but.
That's right, that's right. Ms. Marsack, so through the pregnancy, what's happening? Who's with you? Who's participating? Is someone going to doctor's appointments with you? What's going on?
Well, Your Honor, when I found out I was pregnant, I was honestly confused about it. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go through with the pregnancy, being since I did not know who was the father, and being since I do have 2 children already, I wasn't sure that I wanted to do it alone. I had nobody, and being a single mother, it's very hard. So I stood up and made the decision, to go ahead and do it. I made the mistake of doing what I did, and I have to raise that beautiful child. Being since I have no idea who could be his dad, I just said, I'll do it alone. I made the decision, and I did not contact neither one of them. I was completely alone.
So since Caden's birth, who's been a father to him? Who's been there for you and for Caden?
Mr. Mestepey.
So Mr. Mestepey, you were admittedly a one-night stand, and yet you stepped up and you've been a father to this beautiful baby?
Yes. It wasn't that I could possibly be the father. It was that I could be the father.
I get that. And because there was a possibility that you could, you did what you should do.
Yes, Your
And you
Honor.
were there. I get that, and that's commendable. How were you involved with the baby? How did you bond? Tell me a little bit about that.
Anything he needed, I bought for him. I spent time with him. I changed him. I gave him baths. I was there when he first started rolling over, when he first started trying to sit up. I was there. I was the first person he actually reached for.
Oh, that's beautiful. And so you're hoping today that he is your child.
Yes, Your Honor. I would love that more than anything.
So, Mr. O'Malley, how have you been in Caden's life?
Your Honor, I haven't been as much as I should have, but I didn't know. I understand Mr. Mestepey has been more of a father to Caden than I have, and I accept that. I was working out of state, so I didn't want to come back to Illinois to raise a child that I didn't know that was mine or not.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. So, Ms. Marsack, when you look at your son, who do you really think the father is?
Mr. O'Malley.
I don't see it, Your Honor. I really don't. The little guy has blue eyes. I have brown eyes. Light hair. I have dark hair. I honestly don't think he's mine.
You have the same nose and the same eyes.
And on top of it, she gave the baby her ex-husband's last name.
It is not my ex-husband's last name, Your Honor. It is my last name along with my other two children. I refuse to have my child have a different last name than me and my other children.
When you say you believe in your heart and your gut that Mr. O'Malley is the child's father, are there any other reasons? Is it just looks?
No, Your Honor. There is one big reason. My son does look just like his other baby. Mind you, my son is a week older than his other baby.
Oh, 1 week older.
1 week older
So
than his
there
other
were
baby.
two of you pregnant at the same time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you see a resemblance with your other child, Mr.
No,
O'Malley?
Your Honor. I do
None?
not. No. Maybe.
Do you not see it or do you not want to see it?
I don't see it. She allowed Mr. Mestepey to believe that he was the father.
So, Mr. Mestepey, did you believe you were the father or just thought you were a possibility?
I just thought I was a possibility.
Okay, so he thought he was a possibility.
I was under the impression that he had thought that he was the actual father.
No, what he's testified to in court is he said, since I'm a possibility, I'm going to step up to the plate and do for this child all that I can because it may be my child. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Marsack, so you stated in your court papers that you ended up moving in with Mr. O'Malley
Yes.
and Caden. What happened?
Me and Mr. Mestepey, you know, we separated. Things weren't working out between us. I had left my apartment, and there was no way I could get a different apartment at that time. So Mr. O'Malley offered to have me and Caden come and stay with him.
Okay. Well, that was a nice gesture. How did it go?
Well, Your Honor, it was okay. It lasted maybe
All of 2 months.
whole 2 months, and only a month of it we were actually together. I had decided to leave and move back to Illinois to be closer to my other two children. My son loves his brothers, and they love him, and I honestly felt like it was wrong of me to take him away from his brothers.
So you left Mr. O'Malley's home and moved back to Illinois
Yes, Your Honor.
to be with your other children. But during that time that you're staying in his home, your gut says it's his father.
Yes, Your Honor.
And how are you treating the baby when he's in
Like
your
he
home?
was my own. Like, Your Honor, I treated him and her with the utmost respect. Food, diapers, anything that I could provide for him, I was
And
there.
let me stop you. How many packages of diapers have you bought?
You were only there for 2 months, and we bought 2 months' supplies, so 2 boxes.
You bought 2 boxes of diapers.
You were only there for 2 months.
It doesn't matter.
You were only there for 2 months. What do you want me to do?
You want to sit there and say and raise him as your own. Then when I leave, you don't decide to send money to
And
him.
when you left, you cheated on me when you went right back to Illinois.
You got quiet, Ms. Marsack.
Because, yes, Your Honor, I did.
And so, where was Mr. Mestepey at this point?
He had moved back to California to be with his son's mother.
This is like musical chairs, Jerome. Okay, are you with either of these two now?
No, Your Honor.
All right. What are your hopes for today, Ms. Marsack?
I am just hoping to find out who my son's father is. He deserves to know, and it's honestly hurting me. I want a better future for him. He deserves that.
How about you, Mr. O'Malley? What are your hopes?
I just want the truth to come out. She's lied so much to me, you know, and I just want the truth. If he is mine, I'm willing to step up to the plate and be a father to my son, easily. But Your Honor, if he's not, I never want to talk to this woman again. I don't want to be in contact with her. I just want leave it in the past.
You know, I want the truth too for baby Caden, but I want to make sure as well that he's cared for and he's important to the people that are supposed to love him. And now he potentially could be your biological child.
Yes, Your Honor.
And one of my court clerks told me today you didn't even know how to spell his name.
No, unfortunately, I didn't, Your Honor. I did not want to get attached to a child, potentially, if he was not mine.
But he was with you for 2 months and you said you treated him like he was your own child.
Your
and
Honor.
You didn't know how to spell his name?
No, unfortunately, I didn't, Your Honor.
And I know that breaks your heart, Miss Marsack.
Yes, Your Honor. He sits there and says that, you know, he treated him like his own son while we were together.
And I did.
Not once did he change a diaper.
She's lying.
Not once did he want to go and take a walk with us.
But it feels like you had your gut feeling that he was the father. You moved in with him to see what you could make of this.
She moved
and
in
then
with me because she
within
had
2
no
months,
other place to go,
you
Your Honor.
felt like he wasn't valuing you or the baby.
That's right.
So you decided, well, why stay here and do this when I could at least let my son be around his other siblings, so I'll just go back home to Illinois. That's how you were feeling. Now, whether that's true or what your intention were, I'm trying to read what it is, because it just seems like you just moving and shaking. You got this one over here, then he goes back with this girl, then you go back with him. Now you back over here in Illinois. You know, you're in a hurry going nowhere fast.
She wants me to be the...
So what are you saying, sir?
She keeps lying, Your Honor. She really does. She, like, all the entire time she was in Michigan, I would catch her up in lies. I cannot trust anything that she says. She wants me to be the father because she still loves me.
Do you love him?
Yes, I do. I do have feelings for him.
And then all along, Mr. Mestepey, she loves him, but you want to be the father.
Yes, Your Honor. No matter what happens, I love that boy. I still love Miss Marsack too.
You love her.
Yes.
Do you love Mr. Mestepey too?
No, Your Honor, I don't.
So, Mr. Mestepey, you heard what Miss Marsack just said.
Yes.
She's not in love with you. You want a relationship with her anyway?
I did, but not after recently.
All right, so Mr. O'Malley, do you want a relationship with Miss Marsack?
I'm willing to work it out depending on the test results. I would like to work it out. I would like to be with Miss Marsack if he is mine. Yes, I would.
But there is a contingency.
I mean, if he's not mine, that just shows that she lied to me more, and that if I cannot be in a relationship with somebody if I can't trust them. If they keep on continuously lie to me, I mean.
Whenever he starts talking about that you're lying to him, your eyes go downcast instantly, as
Because
if
she knows
there's
it's
truth
true.
in what he's saying.
Because there is truth in it.
That's what I thought. So now we know why you're running. Because you're running from the truth because you're lying.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. But I'll tell you what, there's one thing that doesn't lie, and that is DNA.
Yes, Your Honor.
Jerome, let's have the results, please. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Marsack v. O'Malley, Mestepey, pertaining to whether Mr. O'Malley or Mr. Mestepey is the father of 11-month-old Caden Marsack. It has been determined by this court that the biological father is. Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. In the case of Marsack v. O'Malley, Mestepey, pertaining to whether Mr. O'Malley or Mr. Mestepey is the father of 11-month-old Caden Marsack. It has been determined by this court that the biological father is Mr. O'Malley.
Big relief, Your Honor. Big relief. Finally got the truth.
I can feel that across the room.
What do you want to do? Would you like to work it out?
You need to step up.
I will.
You need to show you are going to step up.
I will.
Be a father to that little boy. It's not fair to him to be in and out of his life.
As soon as I get back to Illinois or Cleveland, I'm going to pack my stuff and move back to Illinois. I just need you to stop lying to me, and we need to start over fresh.
You two need to be honest. You need to learn to communicate. You need to learn how to parent together. The love is there. For Mr. Mestepey, I'm sorry this didn't turn out the way you planned. I wish you the best in your life. Now, Mr. O'Malley?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is not the first time you've been in this courtroom.
No, Your Honor.
And I don't want to blow you up, but I've seen you before, and I want you to know I don't want to see you again.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right? Take care, everyone. Take care of that beautiful baby boy. Court is adjourned.
After I heard the results, I was very pleased because finally this issue got worked out, and now we can work towards our future, building trust and building a family.
As far as Mr. Mestepey, I do feel bad for letting him love a child that is not his.
After we leave here, I'm gonna go home, pack up my stuff, move out there by her, and we're gonna start new.